It's already going. Just hold it. So I'm Pat's son, Paul. I know a lot of you, but not everybody. Maybe I could just start by having everyone raise a hand. Everyone.
All right.
You too. Everyone raise a hand. If you've known Pat for, if you know my mom, for less than 5 years, put your hand down.
Oh wait, but Bill and Chris, they're lovely.
You're the first losers in this game. If you've known her more than 5 years, keep your hand up. If you've known her less than 10 years, put your hand down.
Photographing this.
If you've known her less than 15 years, put your hand down. Wow, that's amazing. Less than 20 years, put your hand down. 30 years? Wow. 35 years? I almost don't believe it now. 40 years.
Old people that you're talking to.
45 years. It's only 47 years. That's everybody, right?
That's Sharon and I.
I mean,
you've known her from before she moved
when
here?
I invited you to come and dance.
Yeah.
We needed boys.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a different story. So I've known her for 45 years. I don't know if everyone is thinking about this correctly. You feel like this is sort of it seems like a going away party. That's not what it is. This is the return leg of a round trip that my mom has been on for a long time. It was 1969
That's right.
that my mom left New York, where she's now going back to. And if this is not something we've really talked about for the last 20 or 30 years, but my recollection of the story, and when I experienced this trip, I was in her womb. But I remember the story as
I was there.
And I'll tell your version as well. My mom didn't want to go. Her family was in New York. She was from New York.
I didn't want to drive.
Yeah, you can tell your version. She didn't want to go. She was pregnant with me, and I was difficult throughout the whole thing. So
and were you ever?
Yeah.
And ever since.
This one was a baby, and she's still difficult. And they were driving across the country in a convertible Mustang with no air conditioning in a very hot August. Is that?
Yes.
Do I have that correct? That all of this time since then has been ephemeral. It's been a temporary stay. Now she's going back where she belongs. And we'll see if New York seems any different than when you left.
I don't think you should go. I think you should stay.
Yeah, but I'm sure that New
She's going
York.
to change it anyway.
I'm sure that New York will see my mom as much different than who she was then.
God, I hope so.
And it was beautiful, some of the things you said about her. From my perspective, from Deborah and from me and from our spouses, when we think about who my mom is and how different this might have been when she came here, we think of her as being someone who's super generous. She's been generous to us financially, often irrationally and to her detriment. Thank you. She's been generous with her time, and most remarkably, and most recently, generous with a willingness to suffer young children beyond what's reasonable, which has been great for our kids and for us. She's been a mother-in-law, which I'm told isn't the easiest job, but she's done it with grace and been nothing but respectful and kind to both Karen and to Andy. She's been...
That's because she likes them better.
Yeah, well... thank you, yeah. I'm going to talk about you next, actually. Thanks for the opening. My mom has become increasingly intrepid and fearless over the years, to the point where you might remember when the second President Bush, no value judgments here, when he described the axis of evil, you could almost hear my mom pulling out a pen and saying, "That sounds like a good itinerary." And she's been sort of making her way across these. And I love that about her. I love that when I was a young adult, I wanted to go to dangerous places, and my mom gave me a hard time. And then later we literally reversed roles. And I started giving her a hard time, and I thought, I don't think I have the moral authority to say anything. I love that she's become increasingly curious and intellectually diverse in what she's done during her time here. And I love that she's become very courageous as her political views become more extremist, to stand up and say crazy things without concern of retribution or anything else. And I think that's terrific. I really respect that. And I love that. And frankly, I hope I follow a similar zany path.
With exceptions.
Yeah. So I'll say that I want to thank all of you California people for taking care of my mom for this.
But you used to be California.
That was a long time ago. Thank you for taking care of her during this temporary respite from the real home. We'll take care of it now. It'll be fine from here on.
We can get a phone
Yeah.
notification, Scott.
And Mom, we love you very much, and we can't wait to have you back in your home. Now you can go.
Do you want this back, Paul?
Yeah.
That's good fun.